Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the next horrifying chapter of Random Rhapsody's Sonnet of Blood. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master for this Curse of Strahd playthrough. And joining me around my virtual table tonight are Brandie, Dyto, Joe, and Marty. Say hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hola!
everyone. Oh,
Hello.
Impressive.
remix.
Now, before I begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, Hero Forge. Marty?
Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D, in-depth character creator right in your web browser, which is where we built our tokens for this evening's game. You can build your own today at heroforge.com.
Thank you, Marty. The second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely by blurring the background, removing it entirely, or putting a picture as the background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral links in the chat and show description. Now, this Thursday, Tyranny of Dragons is on hiatus, so they will not be playing tomorrow. They will be back the following Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Before that, we have another episode. Let's see, actually, next Monday, we're also going to be off. So the Aether Tech Wars on Monday is going to be off as well. I'm actually opening a brand new restaurant and have to deal with that day. So, kind of happens. But we will be back again the following Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time with Dreams of Infinity, our Magi Knights Awakening campaign. So in the meantime, jump over on YouTube and get caught up on what you're missing. My plug for the day is our YouTube channel. Definitely go check that out. It's youtube.com/Random Rhapsody. Hit those like and subscribe buttons for us. It really helps us out. And that's it. That's it for our announcements. Other than that, oh yeah, I forgot. You can keep up to date on our schedule and everything we do here on the network by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV, on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody, on Blue Sky as Random Rhapsody, and on TikTok as Random Rhapsody_TV. And that's it for our announcements. So join us as we dive into the land of Barovia and continue on with the Conclave Expedition as they attempt to survive. A Sonnet of Blood! And we're back. You should probably know how we do our recaps by this point. It's episode 41. I offer up the Random Rhapsody coin to whoever does the recap. That coin is good for a free Nat 20 in this session, which is crazy. I don't know why I agreed to that. Probably because I wanted it as well. And so I'm very happy to do the recap today. You're all cool with that, right?
Yeah, I'll
No,
die before I
no,
let
no,
you
no,
do
no.
that. Both
Fair
in
enough.
and out of game.
Don't say that.
I mean, I can make that happen. One of the two, anyway. Anyway.
Won't say which one.
Yeah,
but-
won't say which one.
For legal reasons.
Exactly. Anyway. Okay, then. Cog, tell us what happened last time on Sonnet of Blood.
Well, we had just finished fighting some annoying little devils. Danika and I are running out of spells. Of course, Van Richten's just being an awesome bit of help. I mean, Jesus, he was slinging spells left and right. Oh, yeah, that's right, he wasn't. His ass is invisible, hiding in a tree. Werewolves show up, like they do. We were able to actually hold them off by some very timely spell work by Danika, dropping them into a hypnotic pattern. I can't even imagine what they were seeing, because what does a werewolf see in that situation? We escape for a little bit, and then somebody caught us, shot us out of the sky with a lightning bolt. I died, but then I came back to life because I had done some spell work on myself. And he bit Van Richten. Oh, Strahd, by the way, if you hadn't caught on to the guy that could fly and shoot us with lightning. Yeah, it's Strahd. It's
Okay.
Count Strahd Van Zervich. Yeah, he did that.
Who's that again? Do you know
He's
that
a
guy?
dick. He's
Okay.
just we're gonna call him Prick. That's all we're gonna call him. He took a big old bite, took his fill, and he allowed us to live. I'm not saying that he allowed us to live. We didn't escape. He allowed us to live. We got a message to the others that we were alive, but we had unfortunately lost Van Richten. Didn't get a whole lot of info on what happened to them. It seemed pretty harrowing for themselves. We're on our way to meet them now. We're going to try to go to the Wizard of Wine. Because at this point, we might as well get fucked up.
I'm saying.
Ain't that the truth? Okay. Well, there you go, Cog. There's the random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget to use it. It's only going to last this session. Well, now. Expedition. I can only imagine what's going on in the minds of Corwan and Danika as they fly back towards the hill where you left the rest of the expedition. You know that they were making their way towards the Wizard of Wine's winery, which is somewhere northwest of the hill where you fought the druids. Van Richten's capture and the subsequent feeding of Strahd is still fresh in your minds. And there's a very real possibility that the vampire is precisely where you left him. You can't see him, to be sure. But you both kinda have a feeling that's exactly where he is. The skies around you are just beginning to reach pre-dawn. And the darkness is just starting to lessen, allowing you to be able, at least, to make out the shapes of the landscape below you. The great mountain is starting to level out, and before you is the forest, where you had just fought those werewolves less than an hour ago. And somewhere beyond that is the old cobblestone road your friends were traveling, running, hoping to draw at least some of those hunters away from the two of you. No. As for Delphine, Urzak, and Vide, The three of you are currently on a short hill of grass, about half a mile from the road I just described. The mist-shrouded meadow lies not far from the remains of what appears to have once been a very large vineyard. But even at this distance, you can see that the plants are all withered, wilted, or rotten with age. Esmeralda is with you, and she has dropped her Rictavio disguise after learning of her father's fate. The woman has not made a sound since Delphine told her, nor moved from the spot at all. Her head is down, letting her long brown curls hide her face, and her arms are tightly crossed over the short coat and blouse she wears. And she remains this way until Danika and Cog mercifully fly into view. Once they're close enough to see it, it's not hard for Danika to have spotted the light from Vide's sword, which is how most of you have your vision right now. This also allows you to reunite once again. Danika and Cog fly down on the broom and land lightly next to you. You've got an hour or so before dawn at this point, meaning that as of now you've got 11 days until your dinner date with the Lord of Barovia. You're all tired, emotionally drained, no doubt. And you still have a mission ahead of you. Or at least you have a destination in mind. So, with that expedition, what do you want to do?
Well, I think as they're landing, they're going to see Cog with one of those bottles of grappa that he still has from a long time ago. That I got multiple bottles, and he's already tugging on one as he lands, so just covered in blood. So how'd things go for you?
The moment you say that, Esmeralda's face shoots upward, her eyes glaring daggers directly down at you, Cog, the first one to speak. What happened? What happened to my father?
Well, Strahd shot us with a lightning bolt out of the sky. And then he took your father, because there's nothing we could have done to stop him. And he bit him. And then disappeared with him. We were able to fight off the werewolves and the devils. But Strahd's pretty fast when he's flying right at you. Yeah. We weren't able to keep him pocket-sized for long. So we were kind of riding a little heavy. It helps that I don't weigh much. But with your father not having any magic to help us, we couldn't do anything about him taking him. I'm sorry. I am.
She kind of drops to her knees, her shoulders shaking slightly. Did he say anything? Did he tell you anything? Any clue why he came back? What he was doing?
He was looking for somebody named Darts. He said it was that sword, like the sword master that he used to be friends with Robert.
The one who fought with them. Yes,
yeah.
I know the name.
I don't know why did he say why he specifically came back into the open? Because I thought it was that he was like for darts.
He came back looking for darts. Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't say specifically. He didn't give you the full story of what happened. He never really had the time. But the broad strokes was he was coming back to try to get in contact with Darts, the swordsman who he still believed was alive. He was surprised at the idea that that Mitchell is still alive. He was under the impression Mitchell was dead, but he was looking for Darts.
So, yeah, he told us where Darts used to stay. He believes it's still hidden. We were actually trying to get there. We abandoned the idea of going back to his tower because we assumed Strahd would know exactly where we were going. Well, it turns out Strahd knew where we were going anyway. I'm guessing he has... You know what? I don't know. He's practically a god in this realm. But never got even... Yeah. He thought Darts was alive. Maybe. He told me where to find him, if he is. I did that. I was just wondering, I saw that little cave, and I was like, we might want to investigate that later. My 100% completionist brain saw that. It's like, ooh, there's a cave. And so I did that myself. That was me.
Okay.
Sorry, I just saw you pegging that. I was like, oh, that little bit on the map? Yeah,
I was like, that's new. I've never seen that before.
That's my little brain doing that. I was going to bring it up later. But thank you for doing it now.
Sorry, I know you were mid-sentence.
There's a tower, I guess, over that bridge that's south of Aldra. He says underneath it, there's a secret entrance, and that's where Dart lived. And he said nobody ever found it, as far as he knew. So if Dart is alive, Darts is alive. He might be there. And he didn't know that we also knew who Mitchell was, Robert Mitchell, who is the wizard that he used to be friends with that owned that tower that he was staying in. He's from Europa. He disappeared like 25 years ago. We had no idea he was here. But we might have a lead on someone who can help us fight Strahd. So your father didn't... He may not even be dead. You know what Strahd is like. There might be still some way to potentially save him. As far as I know, a bite doesn't automatically change. You know, we have some vampiric creatures back home, but as far as I know, a bite doesn't actually just automatically change somebody. So there's a possibility. I know it's remote. I guess we'll find out when we go to dinner in a week and a half.
Esmeralda sighs. She looks up at you once again as she says, I have no doubt that my father is dead. He told me once that Strahd's last words to him before he left Barovia the first time was that if he ever returned, Strahd would personally rip his throat out.
Wow. I mean, he bit him. I didn't see any throat ripping. But I realize we're pulling at straws here. I'm sorry.
Do you pull out the map as you're talking about this?
I think doesn't
Delphine
have the map?
I have the map. Yeah, I'll pull out the map.
If you pull out the map and hold it out for Esmeralda, She will point to a place not far to the south. A bridge on the map. She says, "It sounds like this is what my father was talking about. I know of this bridge, and it does have a tower right next to it. It's called Solenka Pass. It's a long, winding road that leads up Mount Gakis. No one ever goes there.
Well, that's a good sign.
Mount Gakis is a perilous place. It's freezing cold up there. If we were to head in that direction, we would need supplies, warmer clothes, our wagons.
Oh, they're back at the tower, aren't they?
No, we left them
Where?
at the chapel.
We left those, like, oh yeah.
Was it this one?
Yeah, you guys left them over here.
Let's go look. You know what? At this point, not giving a shit about her father, really. To be honest, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. God, he wanted him to survive just from a, hey, you're helping us, we're gonna help you, and from an intellectual standpoint. But as soon as she mentions the wagon, he's like, oh my God, Dom and Letty. All right, everybody. I know we've had a rough night. We can stay at the tower, but we got to go get Dom and Letty. And then we will go north to your father's old tower. He is in full-on family mode.
If we are heading back, I think it would be a good idea to take a closer look at the chapel.
Yeah, I think there was. Your shield is from there, is it not?
Believe so.
And they didn't want to. Madame Ava's cards mentioned something about like a home of the Silver Dragon or something like that.
Yes, it did.
How are Urzak and Delphine situated? Are they standing close to each other? Maybe one touching the other's shoulder? Give away any context clues?
That's a good question. We haven't heard much from either of them or Vide. So, what are the three of you doing right now?
I'm just gonna let you know if we cut straight through, it's gonna take at least half a day going fast. And it's already dawn.
I think Urzak has been just kind of, standing guard in the back, letting Cog and Esmeralda speak, and has only spoken up at this point because it's important, but is very closed off, all business at the moment.
Yeah, I think Delphine is hovering-ish over Esmeralda since being the one to give her the news about her dad. In that, I'm trying to be comforting, but I don't know how, so there's still, that physical distance.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Vide?
Vide's just kind of watching over, kind of scanning to make sure nothing's gonna, come up and bother all of us while we're talking. But I definitely wouldn't mind resting for a little bit. I think we need a bit of a rest before we move on anywhere.
At least a short rest, or are we gonna try and take a nap?
I mean, I can do. All I need is a short rest. It's up to you guys if you guys need a long rest or short rest. I can get a long rest and a short rest. So
that depends how active we plan on being for the next day.
Because we will take a level of exhaustion if we push on.
Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted.
And I mean, I'm good with taking a bit of time because I wouldn't mind trying to make some more ammo. Honestly, I'm kind of getting a little low there.
It's at this point when you make that character selection in BG3 that it says like Karlak or Will disapproves. You're gonna see Cog. It says Cog disapproves. If we, he's like, all right. I'll admit we could probably use a rest. I just really want to get to Dom and let it
Oh. Yeah, there's really no way around this.
We did at least, because weren't they at least tucked into somewhere at the chapel?
I thought they were tucked in somewhere near Veros, but because the cart broke.
No,
Hey,
we
fixed
fixed
it.
the cart.
I think I fixed the cart.
We
Oh,
mended the cart.
And we were
that was a
almost
long ass time
we were
ago.
almost at the temple when
We went ahead on foot.
we got called. Yeah,
I thought we
when
went
we
ahead
got
on
called.
foot. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all went on foot, deciding to make your approach on foot to keep the wagons hidden.
So
As you were tracking the Vistani, you arrived at the chapel, found the
Mhm.
Vistani dead, followed the trail, and ended up at Yester Hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I remember now.
It's been a few months.
It's like it was only 7 months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday.
last night. It's like, all right, take a rest. I mean, if we're gonna take a rest, I'll hold off. I mean, I can do a touch up everybody, but if we're gonna rest, maybe we don't need it.
I think we should rest. I'm almost completely tapped out.
Your group is currently just on a slight incline of a hill, a short meadow, not far from that vineyard. And you
Wanna
can
try
see
resting
with
there?
the sun starting to peak up a little bit, at least, well, it's getting a little brighter, let's say that, because, it's always cloudy in Barovia. But anyway, it's starting to get a little lighter, and you can see the outline of that building up on the top of the hill, which you assume is the winery.
Do we have time to make it there? Like, how long would it take us to make it to the winery?
3 miles.
So about an hour.
But then there's potential exposition of where we have to explain to them, hey, who we are, what we're doing here, why we're here. It's like how we could help them. So it might be another few hours before we would go to sleep.
I could construct a
Along
hut
our day.
here.
Yeah,
We
I'd
just-
say find a spot, do it here. We go back to the temple in the morning, look for the cart. Hopefully Dom and Letty are alive. We ride if they're not. Search the ruins, and then go to the winery, because we actually have, I think, some of their crystals. That the
That's
big
right.
green, like the green
That's right.
gem that came out of the Wicker Man.
Right?
We have, I'm pretty sure that's, and then we also have one from Baba Yaga's hut.
Lysaga.
We have oh god, you know what? I went into coins mode on his thing. Lysaga.
How? So
Sorry.
we left them at the chapel just before dark.
Not too far from me.
When did we leave
yeah,
the chapel?
because we saw smoke, I think, coming from it.
Yeah,
And
so you
we-
crept up,
so-
and it was about dusk when you arrived there. Then
So
you
it's
spent
just-
several hours crossing a mountain to get to the woods, to get
Yeah.
to
Because
the
I
hill.
did cast Private Sanctum around them, and
Yes,
that
you
lasts
did.
for 24 hours.
So we should, we're at maybe 12. We've been at most, depending right now, 10 hours, maybe, man. Because we 10,
I'd
12
say
hours.
so. Because if you
So-
did it right before dusk, and it's now the morning the next day, it hasn't been a full 24 hours yet.
So we should
So we've
be
got
okay.
some time.
I just wanted to double check how long Private Sanctum lasts, because I know that was kind of a conversation. Is it worth spending the 4th level spell slot, and Cog was like, "Let's
Hey, it's
please."
fucking spent a 7th level for Dom and Lady. What are you talking about?
So I cast it.
We don't even have 7th level spells yet. That's how much it's important to Cog.
Well, then I will spend the next 10 minutes ritual casting Tiny Hut for us.
Okay.
Kind of like off to the side, like not in the tree line, but
Near enough to the tree line so you're not too inconspicuous.
right.
Or too conspicuous.
While they would be doing that, Cog would kind of like maybe venture off to a little spot by himself. Kind of sit down. I'm sure he's got like in his little cleric-y kit, like some candles or something. He's gonna put them out, and he's gonna start doing a prayer to his goddess, and he's gonna try for divine intervention.
Interesting.
Figured might as well try this every day. It's not
Until
a
it
good
works.
chance. It's 1 in 10 chance. It's a 10%. So, hey,
Not
he knows
impossible.
he knows the basic gist of it. So he also kind of knows he's starting to learn the rules of Barovia, and he realizes probably can't just ask, "Hey, can we leave?" But he's just gonna say, "It's like we could really," in his prayer, he's like, "Lady, like I know it's been really rough while we've been here, and I haven't prayed to you as much, but we could really use some advice. I need to hear you to know that at least some good is coming from what we're doing. So if you can help out in any way, that's all I'm asking." And he's putting it out there, and he's doing his prayer. He's shooting a shot.
Okay, so you roll a D100. And
Imagine you just bink this first try.
Yeah. Roll a
Fucking
D100
hell.
and you're trying to aim for below your level. So you got to roll a 10.
Nope.
It's the exact opposite on the spectrum.
It is
From
true.
100.
That is the exact opposite on the spectrum. So you do this and you reach out and pray to your goddess, but unfortunately, no answer is forthcoming.
New phone, who dis? He's like, "I understand. Try again tomorrow." And that's going to kind of be his new morning ritual. I think for him, I mean, he really got his faith shaken pretty hard when Irina died.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one, Urzak, that wasn't as bad. He was like, you know what? When he saw him, he's like, "I did fail that man." Oh, we have 2 bodies in the hole, by the way. We have Urzak's body too, because I remember we would have buried that. I reminded myself we would have. Cog wanted to bury him at Algiba, and so that really shook him really hard. And he started to go a little dark side. He's gotten a little bit more vicious with the enemies they're coming across. But maybe losing the Alchemist is kind of like, all right, you know what? I can't be doing this full anger. I have to get back to what made me who I am. And so he's going to kind of start praying to her every day, even if she can't hear him. He's still reaching out because he doesn't want to become what Barovia turns everybody into. So he's going to fight against that. And it's whatever way he can. That's what he's going to do.
Love it.
I think Urzak kind of sees the little, display that you put out and the actions that you're taking, and kind of takes notice of it, and like just kind of stands guard while you do that, since you're kind of a little bit away from everybody, and doesn't really say much of anything, but just kind of looks on and nods a little bit. And
I think if Cod clocks, he's like, Balzer. I was gonna call him Balzer.
Wow.
No. Oh my god, I'm blanking. Balrus, Jesus. Balrus is still out there too. You just got to keep looking for him.
I'm aware. But the more I've had time to reflect, the more I realize that my time with the church was not what I thought it was.
You were taken in pretty young, right?
Yes.
Well, the youth are unfortunately easily manipulated. It's not the right word, but it's the best what I've got right now. You were brought up in a situation post-breaking, which is extra incredible, to still believe in the faith. And I know they didn't stand for the greatest of things. They were corrupted by forces that were not of their own. The five are not. Maybe they're not even gods, granted, but enough people believed in them that they attained that status in Europa. Just because you can't hear him while you're here doesn't mean he's not there. And just because things were a little rough growing up and you've kind of had your eyes opened to what the church might have actually really been, it's not all bad. I know. It's been rough. Having your worldview kind of turned upside down.
And I will reckon with that if and when we return home. But for now...
she might just be the halfling god. Maybe if we get some biggers on our side? People like yourself? Maybe Delphine, she wants to join? Vide?
Oh.
You know what? Vide's damned. I don't know. Wow. I don't know what they...
Vide is damned.
I don't know what that guy... I don't know what that guy believes.
Everyone looks over towards Vide. What's Vide doing right now?
It's like, we could use some big people in our corner. That's all I'm saying.
Urzak kind of chuckles and says, I've seen the way you've been the last day or so, and I want to say for doing what you're doing now and trying to get back to your roots, I'm happy for you, and I'm proud of you.
Like I said, I know your faith is shaken. Don't let this place take it all from you. That's all I'm saying. Just kind of pat you on your hip as he walks back to the group.
Our camera's going to pan over to Vide right now. What are you up to, Vide?
No, Vide would be in agreement. He's gonna.
Vide is damned. I agree.
Pretty much. He doesn't know what's going on with his life, honestly. But no, he's just. I don't know. Sorry, I did kind of get distracted because I realized I don't have the amount of trick shots on my sheet. I need to add one from the level up.
Would a resurrection, is it resurrection that puts a soul into a new body?
Reincarnate.
Reincarnation. Would that work on Vide?
You have no idea until you try it.
Are we gonna kill Vide?
No. Hey, no.
Experiment?
They are, they died and, came back in a way that Cog still really doesn't know and understand. And he's like, maybe we could make them new. Give them a heartbeat again. Do they have a heartbeat?
Vide,
do you go put your ear against their chest?
Well, it's kind of, you know what? Cog's not rude. It's like, he's just who he is. He's like, I guess maybe at some point, kind of be like, when he finds out what Vide was, he's like, do you need to breathe? Do you have a heartbeat? Do you bleed?
Well,
Do you even need to eat and drink? Have we noticed Vide eating and drinking?
I don't know. Have you?
I don't know. I guess it's just something you take for granted. You don't think of that role play kind of stuff.
Take a
No, Vita's been saying that they're not eating when we sit to eat.
There you go.
Maybe we could tell Chiba. We could talk to the guy that runs the Abbey at Algeba. Maybe maybe we can give you a new lease on life. Guy could just be like, you go, just kind of give you the shoulder and just walk away.
I mean, Vide was also walking around the church, the Abbey, at or not the Abbey, the church at Veros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You never know.
I mean, he doesn't really know a whole lot about his past, so he can't help out too much there.
Started off as a joke, turned into something serious. You know what? That's the tagline for this Curse of Strahd campaign. Started as a joke, turned into something serious. Yeah, I was just kind of goofing around, but you never know. Something to pursue. And I guess he would get the hole out, portable hole, while Delphine's still doing her thing. He's going to lay it out, make sure, because he doesn't know, I don't know, so maybe he doesn't know. Do the things get jostled around in there when he's running around? And he would just make sure that, Irina and Urzak or Ismark are still, kind of wrapped up and tended to. And
okay. Make for me a medicine check.
A +9 and I get an 11.
Eesh.
They seem pretty much the same.
Yeah. He'll recast because he knows it's not been enough time, but he'll burn his 1 second and do gentle repose on her again.
Okay.
Just to make sure he can verify. Because maybe he's lost a little bit. Like I said, I don't even know how long ago in game that was. And he would just make sure. It's only been a few days, right?
Since
maybe since
Irina died.
3-4 in-game days.
Been 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of almost just do it. It's just got to make sure he's not letting that timer get anywhere close to 0. So, and then he just kind of sit patiently and keep sipping that grappa, waiting for the hut to be done.
It does not take long. Honestly, the hut's probably done about the same time you finish communing and having this conversation with Urzak. Delphine creates that giant bubble dome. It's opaque at this moment, and you all step through it and kind of center yourselves throughout the area of the hut. It's literally just a protective dome, but it's comfortable. She can keep the temperature however she likes, and so you all kind of just sit down and get out of what is starting this morning to be a very light drizzle. As you're stepping through the protective dome space, you do see the clouds begin to drip just a little bit, a very light drizzle falling upon the grass around you. You all quickly duck underneath that dome and situate yourselves as you're doing so, and as you're doing so, you kind of watch and see that the grass around your dome is just getting a little bit damp. Up above you, you can see that the vineyard that's above you on the hill, it has just a very light glaze of mist over the decaying and dilapidated looking vines that are all throughout the vineyard area itself. It's kind of depressing looking. Like it's getting just bright enough that you can start to see more and more of the features. You can see like those long, those tall poles with rope, or not really rope, but lines pulled between them where the vines are supposed to grow. You can see like some sprouted tall vines that kind of creep up the posts, but just start to rot and twist and wither away towards the top. It looks as though that the winery hasn't been used in years, maybe. Which is weird because Danika and her husband, when they were talking about it back in Veros, sounded like the winery had only recently stopped producing wine. I imagine you all kind of gather up together and place your bedrolls around the dome and situate yourselves to go to sleep. Is there anything anyone wants to accomplish before you head off to bed for the night? Or the day, I should say, because it is dawn. But
If would I have the means with me to make some more bullets?
not really. I mean, you would have to start up a fire and heat up lead, and while you can do that with wood and that sort of thing, you'd have to collect it first. You don't have any with you, and it is starting to rain a little bit. Could you get it hot enough to make some bullets? It would be a dice roll.
Okay, never mind. Then I'll wait till later. I'll just conserve them. So then, no, there's not really anything else that I need to do.
I think Delphine is looking at the map and fortune reading and just trying to figure out where any of these places could possibly be, based on what knowledge they've picked up and like what the best cause of action would be to hit as many places and as in the shortest amount of time. And I'm not on my home computer, so I do not have my notes. Because I do have notes on this Taroko reading.
There should be handouts in...
Yes, but I have notes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like where I have notes where like Delphine
notes.
thinks different things are.
Ah.
Gotcha.
Like I know she knows we need to go in the mountains somewhere. She just doesn't know which set of mountains.
And we got the Master Stars Wizard. That's the tower on the lake. That's where the Alchemist was staying, and it's Robert's tower. Then we've got where the Amber Doors. That's one we haven't found. The Bishop, the Eight of Glyphs.
Right. That I don't think I know anything about. I don't think I've even heard rumors about Amber Doors because I was also asking around in Barrows one of the nights, but I don't think anybody said any rumors or anything about Amber Door.
And there's a Weapon of Sunlight, or Weapon of Vengeance, Sword of Sunlight, and then the Dragon's House, which is the church.
Because we have two of them already.
Do you think, I guess the knowledge so ancient it lies hidden and forgotten? Could that potentially be one of the books we've got?
Yes. I believe that it's one of the books that we've got. And
then the history of love, sorrow, vengeance, that's
yes.
Irina's real persona, her journals. And I suppose we have Lysaga's journal as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lisa's journal and Lysaga's journals. Well, I guess we found Lisa's journals in the was in the Burgomaster of Aldra's ruins, right? Or was that?
No, that was in Baba Lysaga's hut.
That was in her hut too.
Yeah,
Okay.
you found both.
Yeah, they were both
her
in her
journal
hut. Yeah.
and Lysaga's journal.
We found something of Lisa's. There was like a statue.
That was, I think, depicting her, and that's why Irina had such a reaction the first time she saw it. And then Strahd showed up and kind of
because
evening.
Okay, so I don't have my notes, so I could be wrong, but we did find it's one of the 2 books from the village, but we did find something in the tower, Van Richten's tower.
Yeah.
That was Strahd's journal.
That was that was Strahd's journal.
Maybe that's the.
Those are the 2 we found so far. And
then we've got at least we have the shield, but that might not be the treasure in the dragon's tower or the dragon's home. But we know the 2 are linked.
Yes, that is where I think.
I think that's actually attached to the weapon of vengeance because it says there's a card of power and strength that tells it a weapon of vengeance, sword of sunlight. The treasure lies in a dragon's house. A hand's once clean and now corrupted. The one of swords avenger. So maybe we'll find whatever the sword of vengeance is. We're gonna find Dom and Letty.
This is okay. Okay, this is why I was looking at the mountains, because we're looking beneath a tower in the snow, which I think is to the south now. That's Robert's tower.
Or Dart's tower?
Dart's tower.
That could be.
I did give you one hint about the amber doors, I will tell you.
Yeah, and I thought you did, but I don't have my notes, so I don't remember.
Make for me an intelligence check. Let's see if I can help you remember it.
Straight intelligence.
Since you don't have your notes with you today.
Oh. I need darts. Reading the card. The card shed lights on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. Your greatest ally will be the last of a noble bloodline. His body was broken, and so he sleeps or recovers beneath the tower in the snow. Maybe that's darts. Maybe that's. I mean, it doesn't sound like Robert. He's definitely not the fucking. He's just a shitheel from fucking Port Valena that somehow managed to get here and be a big deal.
So
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
Dude, so mad.
I don't have a score to settle from a 3.5-year campaign that's over. No, I don't.
Right now.
Yeah, I think Delphine is just like exhausted at this point.
Yeah.
And even her own brain is just like she's reading through this and like seeing double.
I could hand you the bottle of grappa. You need to pull
She drinks it. Cheers.
Oh, you holding out?
Thought you were.
I pass it.
Goody.
Pass it.
Whatever gave you that impression?
He's like, fine, you can have the almost empty one. And Cog's gonna pull out another one. Because he had 3 total, and 1 definitely got used. So now we're on to 2 and 3.
Fair enough. You spend some time drinking, musing about your Taroko reading and the possibilities, and what the fuck was that about amber doors? God, I remember something about amber doors. But eventually you all separate and bed down for a long rest. I'm not going to make you roll for this. Nothing bothers you during the day. Each one of you take a watch as usual, but nothing significant happens. Nothing comes near you. Other than the light rain patting on the dome itself, it is extremely quiet, and you all do get a long rest.
Is there some cuddlings going on when Cog takes his watch? Is he gonna know? Does he see something? The budding romance?
I don't know, Dyto. What do you think?
I mean, it is a very small hut.
Oh, it's in a what? Is it 10 feet radius? Isn't it 10 by? It's like
Yeah, it's a 10-foot radius, so there's enough that 8 people can stretch out in it. I guess the question is: are the two of you? Do the two of you have your bedrolls next to one another, somewhat close to one another, or at the opposite ends of the dome?
I don't see why they wouldn't have their bedrolls next to each other.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not going to be like sleeping on top of each other, but
no.
I was going to say, or are they sharing a bedroll?
Oh,
I don't think they're sharing a bedroll.
No.
they just pushed them together.
Or I'm sure there's some space between the two of them.
Maybe their hands are kind of reaching out, maybe holding fingertips or something.
Hold on. I'm going to roll something for that. Give me a second.
Oh, shit.
No.
No.
Whoa.
I don't. Well,
Whoa.
I mean, I don't.
Shit.
I don't think because I was gonna say that if I had failed this wisdom save, like you would have actually like seen her arm like sticking out in that direction, but instead it's not her arm, it's her hair. Her hair is like kind of fanned out, and her locks are going in Urzak's direction.
God. You know, like when guys get on the Jumbotron and propose to a girl and says no? That no. Right there, dude. That was you getting stood up.
That was emphatic.
That was you getting stood up at the Super Bowl, my friend.
But no, Cog, unfortunately, on your watch, there's nothing interesting.
He could have used that as a little bright spot, so things are gonna be a little darker the next day.
Yeah, way to go.
Ruined Cog's day.
Well,
Sorry.
It's fitting that when you all do
Vide told him to get a room.
That's true. That did happen. But anyway, when you all do wake up from your respective rests, the skies are still raining. It's a little darker now. It's been 8 hours since dawn, which is like 5 a.m. So it's about 1 in the afternoon when you all finally do get up and start moving about. Your stomachs are rumbling. Esmeralda still seems quite downcast. She rested as well as best as she could, and she's pretty much kept to herself during the 8 hours you just shared. You all pull out your rations and munch a little bit, and the topic of discussion once again turns towards your destination. Here you are, not far from the Wizard of Wine's winery. Your horses are, let's see, if you put the spell on them at dusk, that means that you've got 6 hours before your spell ends, Delphine. Not nearly enough time to get all the way there, even if you cut cross-country, which I will remind you that cross-country in a straight line between here and there is through the woods and up a mountain. This is all mountain over here. So there is that. The chapel that you had briefly visited is on one cliff side of that mountain. Closer towards, what's the lake? Lake Zarovich in the Lunar River. So, it's a bit of a trek. You also have the tower at Lake Baratok. I think you mentioned something about that. Or there's the tower to the south along the Solenka Pass, where you believe the swordsman Darts is hanging out. So you got a lot of ground to cover here. Not a lot of time. So, as I said, the topic turns back towards your destination. Where do you plan on going from here?
The temple.
Yeah, I think the temple in our cart has to be. Not just because Damalai, but we have unfinished business there. Plus, your father may have left something there when he was taken. So we need to do a thorough search of the area. Looking at our friend. I assume they're in their form and not as Rictavio.
They dropped Rictavio
So,
last night.
yeah.
Esmeralda says, I suppose it's as good a place as any. Though I can't help but wonder if my father did have anything, if the druids would be the ones to have had it. The ones back at the hill. They're the ones who took my father from the Vistani, after all.
It's a possibility. I mean, we've got. I guess he'd hold up. He's like, we got the gem that fell out of the. Wick, because it was with him in the Wicker Man, right? Wasn't there a gem with him in it?
Yeah, there was a gem. One of the gems was in the Wicker Man. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, we've got this. I think this really belongs. He's gonna point up to the vineyard. He goes, they've been without him for a while. They can go a few more hours. He didn't have, because he was pretty much in rags, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't really have anything on him, and we didn't get a chance to check the dead druids because we kind of bolted because Strahd was there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could go to the temple, check on the cart. All of the druids are dead, right? None of them escaped. But then again, maybe Strahd would have policed their bodies and taken them, had his goons take them with him. Or eat them.
Yeah, you don't know. You kind of killed everybody and booked it out quick.
So I mean, we could check the hill to see if anything's left and then go look for darts. Look for a tower in this. Well, I mean, I guess we're not going to have winter gear, I guess. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. But definitely temple in the cart first.
Yeah, I suggest we do the temple in the cart, get the cart, and then we can follow the river down to... Would you say it was... Oh, it'd help if I had the right... This is where we're going?
Yeah, that's the tower next to that bridge that overlooks the bridge. And there's a secret way to get into it. And that's where Dart was staying. Darts.
I figure those should be our two next destinations if we think that they're going to help us take out Strahd. Because that man is pissing me off.
That's putting it mildly. Burning daylight. Shall we get moving?
Yeah. Danika, what do you think? I just looked. Huh?
Golly gee, I guess we should go get the carts.
Natalie, come back. They're making fun of you.
That's an inspirational, it's a thing of love that he's trying to pull that off. It's out of respect. You only try to imitate.
It's pretty good. It wasn't a terrible impression.
I think it's a pretty good impression.
Okay, it went
I
down a
know.
little bit.
Yeah, it did. Anyway, so you are. So here's my question: are you attempting to go cross country over, like through the woods, over the mountain to get back to the
I think-
to the
Can
chapel?
we skirt the edge of the woods? And like, or is this still kind of on the mountainside, like going along,
Yeah, it
cut
is still
across
kinda-
here, and then just kind of.
Yeah, you can kind of see like where the
Oh,
elevation
yeah.
lines are.
Probably cut across here.
How
Okay,
high up is it? Like here? Like what do you
And then,
guess
like,
reckon the
we'll-
elevation is?
Go kind
It
of
goes up
around.
pretty high as you're going. So I mean,
I'd be worried we'd be losing a bunch of time. Like it would probably take as much time, if not longer, to cut through this way as to just take the path, right?
Well, I mean, the path will take us like all the way up and around, and we're on foot.
Yeah, but the path is going to be flatter and less climbing. If we're going over the mountains, that's going to take us time to climb, and then that's going to wear us out.
Let's-
Also, I know our first couple of forays into the woods weren't really not anything terrible, but we have been warned on numerous occasions not to go in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've had some kind of close calls,
Well-
though, in the woods.
Maybe. And I'm not going to look at the camera up to my left, the screen, to see Matt's face. Maybe Strahd, realizing that he kind of got the upper hand, would tell them to back off us if we go into the woods.
Does that sound like something Strahd
Is he-
would do?
Is he laughing with his mic off?
He
I'm
made
not looking.
absolutely no expression.
Oh, okay.
I can
If-
stone face pretty well. when I
That
want
was pretty
to.
good, yeah, I will say.
If we go at a fast pace, it'll take us a full day to get there.
But I think it's
If-
going to be
Following
at
the
least-
following the path.
Falling path.
I think it's
Okay.
going to be at least a full day, no matter which way we go, though. Even going over the mountains, or
Yeah, because we can't
mountains are gonna
necessarily
slow
take
Even-
a fast pace on the mountain.
What if we had somebody fly ahead and get there and kind of maybe take Delphine, because then you can recast that spell and buy us a little bit more time.
Delphine and Danika want to do that?
Well,
Or you could go there, get them, kind of gather them up, and start heading towards us and meet kind of in the middle somewhere. I mean, yeah, I know how much it's recommended.
It would be
to
about the
split
same
party.
either way. Distance-wise, if we
Just-
skirted around the mountain.
The map says what each hex is a quarter mile. So it's,
It'd be 22 to 24 miles, whichever way we decide to go.
so is it actually each one is a mile? Because down at the bottom it says each square is a quarter mile. So are they actually?
Yeah,
are we
no,
saying
I
they're a mile?
changed it.
Okay.
yeah, I
Yeah.
changed it for this map because it's a bigger map. So each hex is a mile.
So yeah, if you and Danika use the broom and fly ahead. I mean, I know we're splitting, but I mean,
I mean, I do also have some method of faster transport now. I mean, it wouldn't be ideal, and I wouldn't be able to take everybody with me, but
Esmeralda speaks up at this. We have 2 wagons there, and Danika's broom can hold 2. Why don't she and I go? I can take 1 wagon. Danika can take the other, and we can meet you on the road back. That would be
It's not a
one
bad
way
idea.
we could do that. But then you would all have to. And then the question is, do we then go back to the chapel or go somewhere else?
I really think we should check out that chapel. I mean, it's very clearly referenced in our reading.
Yes, we need to check out that chapel.
Madam Ava pretty much told us. I mean, if we're right about the signs we're reading, we need to go there.
Okay. Then our best bet would be for Danika and I to go ahead, attempt to get there and get to the wagons. By the time we do and make it back to the road, we should be able to find you there and at least cut a few hours off of our time.
Plus, you got a tiger, right? I know it's not. It's like a magical thing, right? Didn't it a tiger?
No, the were-tiger, no, that ran off, unfortunately.
Were-tiger?
It was not a were-tiger, it was just a saber-toothed tiger.
Oh. I don't know why I was thinking it was magical. It was like it didn't actually...
The horses that draw my carriage are magical.
That's what it is. Yeah. Fuck, we could have used a goddamn tiger in that fight. They could have ripped a druid's throat out. I saw The Walking Dead. I know what that tiger, his tiger did. It would have worked.
Before we part ways, I'm gonna ritually cast telepathic bond on all of us. This way, even though we'll be split up, we can keep in contact, and it only lasts for an hour.
Oh.
It lasts for 1 hour, but
Danika's got sending, so if something happens, they could send us a message.
But at least for that first hour, if we need to, we can keep in contact.
Okay. You cast your telepathic bond. Everyone nods in agreement, and Danika and Esmeralda snuggle in close. Esmeralda holding Danika tight on the broom as it flies off into the air, heading to the northeast.
Natalie's not even here to know that the
She's
object of their affection in game is snuggling up tight to him.
It's true. Once the pair of them are out of sight, the rest of you gather up your possessions and begin making the long trek back to the road, I guess? You're just going to walk down to the road and start making your way up towards start going around to where you can meet up with the wagon. Is that about right?
Yep.
Okay. And I think that's probably where we are going to pause.
Holy shit,
and go
really
on break.
8:30?
Yeah, it's
Damn.
8:30 already.
Mhm.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Right?
That's good shit so far.
Right?
So, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will be back in about 10-15 minutes. And when we return, we're going to find out what our heroes encounter as they're making the slow trek back to the Chapel of Argynvostold. Stay tuned. And we're back. So, when we last left off, Danika and Esmeralda were flying away on their broom, while Vide, Urzak, and Delphine were walking at a very fast pace, trying to get back to a point where both groups can meet up. Esmeralda and Danika have to try to get the wagons back to a place where they meet up somewhere on the main road, and that's kind of where we're at. So, this is what I want from the three of you. Vide, actually 4 of you, sorry. Vide, Urzak, Delphine, and Cog, the four of you. It's just Danika and Esmeralda flying away. So I need the four of you to make some rolls. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm going to need the four of you to make some rolls. We're going to see what kind of pace you can make, and if you get stopped up by anything on this route. So what I'm going to need from each of you is an athletics check, because I imagine you're going as fast as you can.
Unless Master Yoda has a Luke to ride on. Huh? Alright, now I'll just roll.
What? Oh.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to say, I was like, you want a backpack? I'll give you a backpack.
I'll give you a help.
Nah, I didn't. Well, we'll see how Cog's roll is, and then we'll see if you have to pick him up. Is that athletics?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guys, please.
Well,
I can't talk much more. I did just as bad.
How is it that I got the best and I have a +0?
I have a. We all except for Urzak have a +0. Okay?
I rolled a 4.
So did I.
Do I want to
Hey.
burn it for this? Because this does seem kind of important that we get there relatively smoothly. Or do I want to potentially use it to kill something? Shit.
You think we're
burn
gonna
them.
do any killing?
Fuck all. Who knows? Cog will burn the nat 20 here. He's just going on. You know what? It's all about family. He is focused on Dom and Letty. And he is, he's power walking, man.
Okay. Using the nat 20 to give you a 20.
20. There's no bonus.
There you go. Well, that is going to help things out. That is going to make this 3 successes. It wasn't a heavy DC. I just kind of wanted to get what kind of picture that you were, what kind of picture this trip was going to be. So
Delphine is distracted watching Urzak walk in front of her.
I was just about to say, did Urzak maybe take off his upper armor to let his pecs breathe? And every time his back kind of shifts, you see the muscles, and I do declare.
why not?
That's just in my
He
head.
kind of
now.
nudges her along as she slows down. Come on, we gotta go.
Well, with the 4 of you moving at a brisk pace, it is still going to take some time to get from this location all the way up to the woods here, or to the main road. So let's take a look here.
I do potentially have a method that we could use to, at least for an hour, make things go a little faster.
Okay.
Delphine, do you still have that, like, floating disc thing that we used?
Yeah.
I can summon my horse, and we can tie the disc to it, and just use that as a makeshift cart for the time being. Does that
It can
work?
only move
It
at
can
a
only
certain
move with me.
speed. Yeah,
Only moves with you.
yeah.
It moves however fast I'm going within 20 feet.
But it's
But it
Then
as long
why
as we're
don't
close to the
you
ground.
I don't
you
think
get on the horse?
I don't think it works. I think she has to be walking.
No, I just
Oh, you
can't
can
be
be
above 10. I just can't be above 10 feet of elevation, or the disc can't be above 10 feet of
How
elevation.
big's your skeletal horse?
I doubt it's 10 feet.
Because
It's a
remember,
war
it's
horse.
not a flesh horse; it's a skeletal horse.
War horses are actually bigger than you think.
I hope it's not 10 feet tall. That'd be a little.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be
crazy.
10 feet tall. That'd be way taller than the average person.
Well, let's see. Medieval
Whoa.
war horses were typically 14.2 hands, 58 inches.
That's
Which is
almost-
about
That's
that
5
would
feet.
be
Yeah, that'd only be
4 foot
5
8.
feet.
Or
That would be
Yeah,
about
4 foot 10.
about 4'10". So with you on top of that, that'd be it would be under
So
the 10 feet. So you'd be good.
If Urzak and I were on the horse, then Vide and Cog could be on the disc.
and Esmeralda.
No, Esmeralda's
Esmeralda's with
Oh, she's with
Danika. They
Danika,
already
so it
took
is
off
just the 4 of
flying.
us. You know, that's
Yeah, well-
could make things a little easier on us, at least for the time being.
I mean, it's worth it. Gets us that much closer.
Okay. That would take your time down a little bit. You said it only works for an hour?
Well, I think floating disc only works for an hour.
Floating disc is an hour, then I'd have to recast it.
The horse, I think,
how long
until
does-
until it dies or you dismiss it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would basically
Oh, wait a minute. How many of these horses can you summon?
There's
Is it
Only
just one?
one.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, remember it's summon steed. It's like what
Fine
Yeah.
speed, yeah.
yeah, find steed,
Fine.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same spell that Bree used to use in the Debauchery Circus campaign.
Okay. I was gonna say if we could have gotten the second one, but
No,
That would be
but-
nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, but what
Yeah,
you
I
are
didn't
able to
take-
do. Okay,
And I
sorry.
didn't take Phantom Steed.
Ooh, that's a fun spell.
But what you can do is Urzak can summon his steed. Delphine could ride behind him, and then Vide and Cog could sit on that, and it would basically decrease your trip by about an hour overall. If you kept like every hour you stopped, you took 10 minutes to resummon, and that sort of thing. This would cut down your time probably by about an hour overall. Now,
It's now.
yeah. So that's what you guys are doing. You summon your steed, you get on it. Delphine gets on behind you. Cog and Vide get on the disc and kind of hold on to the edge, and you set off at a gallop. It's a magical steed, so you can ride a little bit faster and not worry about wearing the thing out as you would a normal horse. The landscape kind of goes by as at a blur. You pass the farmland of the winery, make one last glance at it before you ride off into the forest. Your time in the forest is wet, not as wet as when you're out in the open. It is still drizzling a little bit, but the trees do help and keep you from getting too terribly soaked. You all are still wet. You probably all have cloaks on with hoods up to try to lessen that a little bit, but it's still a cold ride. But with those athletics checks and the fact that you're riding your steed, this is going to help you out a little bit. Fortunately, nothing seems to bother you during this time. You spend about 3 hours riding. I do want you all to make one d20 check. This is to see if you encounter anything on the road. But you're only going to have one encounter check. So go ahead, somebody, and roll for me a d20.
Oh,
A 12.
12, yep. You encounter nothing on the road. You finally, after about 3 hours, you make it up to the main road that goes through Barovia, reaching an actual well-made and put-together cobblestone road as opposed to the dusty, half-used one you've been traveling down. And you turn towards the east and continue on down the road, making as fast of a pace as you can. Now, as far as Danika and Esmeralda, well, Danika, are you with us?
Yes.
Yay!
Hey,
Yay.
Danika, welcome.
Welcome.
Well, Danika, You and Esmeralda are flying on your broom towards where you last left the wagons.
I thought it was towards certain death.
Well, you never know. We're about to find out. I need you to make for me a perception check, because you're the one flying the broom.
And perception check. Let me... Perception. Did it pop up? Did I do it right?
Yep, it did pop up. That's
Sure did.
Whew,
Oh, man.
that was a nat one.
Welcome back, huh?
Welcome back. So, you see absolutely nothing.
Did that? What was
Yeah.
that?
What was that?
Sounded like-
You're making your way through the woods, up above the treetops, and across the mountain range of southern Mount Caucasus. Or actually, no, this is western Mount Caucasus, sorry. The air becomes chilled very fast. You are on your broom, flying overhead. The rain is coming down in a gentle drizzle, but it's just you and Esmeralda hanging on this tiny broom as you fly over this mountain. You never see what it is that hits you, but something smashes into you from behind. And I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw, as does Esmeralda.
That's better.
Wow. Danika, you rolled a 27. Esmeralda rolled a 15. You managed to hold on to the broom as a massive snowball pelts you from behind. The broom goes spinning out of control. You're holding on for dear life. Esmeralda slips off but manages to grab onto your ankles as you're whipping about in the rain, spinning around. You're both managing to hold on just barely. I need you to next make for me, Danika, I'm going to allow you to decide. You can either make an Arcana check or you can make an Acrobatics check, trying to right yourself on the broom as another gigantic snowball comes flying towards you.
Did you say Arcana?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
To magically control the broom.
Yeah, it's a magic broom.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get you. I'm like, how does Arcana help you from falling?
Okay.
But that makes sense.
Let's see. What did you roll? You rolled a 14, Danika. That's not enough, unfortunately. You're trying to right yourself, pulling yourself up when you're hit by the snowball. It's large. It's like the size of a snowman's bottom. And it hits you, smacking you off the broom. Both you and Esmeralda are falling. The two of you are going to take...
It's a lot of fallings.
3.
Luckily, you're
Three.
only 50 feet in the air.
Oh, that's only...
So you're going to take 19 points of bludgeoning damage as you go thump into the snow.
Hmm.
You pick yourself up and look around. And there's something in the distance charging towards you.
Shit.
It is large, it is hairy, and it is white. You got the wind kicked out of you a little bit. What do you
Meanwhile,
do?
it kicks back to us. We're singing show tunes. So we're fucking riding along on the horse.
What's the Laropan equivalent of show tunes?
I'm sure there's some kind. I'm sure they have.
Oh yeah,
musicals.
there's definitely like musicals and cabaret in Laropa.
Wonderful.
So Danika, you have a giant white hairy beast. It's probably about, let's call this 60 feet away from you right now. What are you doing? Danika, you with us?
Oh, I forgot to press the talk button. I was definitely talking back to you.
Okay. But anyway, like I said, you got a white furry beast about 60 feet away from you, charging towards you. It was throwing snowballs and knocked you off your broom. What are you doing?
It's only one thing, right?
One big thing, yep.
I'm going to immediately cast Polymorph on it.
Interesting. Okay, let me... What is, what kind of saving throw is it?
I believe it is... Wisdom?
And what's the range?
60 feet.
Oh yeah, you're good on that. And it's a, yeah, wisdom saving throw. They should be good. It rolled an 8.
Oh, good. And I can change it to anything that's less than it?
Yeah, you basically, the form can be any beast whose challenge rating is equal to or less than the target's.
I immediately turn it into a adorable bunny rabbit.
There we go.
This giant, furry, hairy beast is charging towards you. Snow is just billowing out behind it. You look at it, you wait for that moment, and you cast your spell, and then it just zips down to this tiny, adorable bunny rabbit that lands in the snow and keeps hopping towards you, with not really understanding the fact that it just changed.
Yay. I'm gonna... How is my good friend Esmeralda doing? What is she?
She's picking herself up at this point and coughing up a little bit of blood. She's probably about as equally hurt as you are.
Okay. Is there, is my broom still around to where I can see it?
Make for me a perception check.
Oh my god, I am terrible at perception checks. Perception. Oh, I got a 19.
Okay. You scan around for a few moments, and as you do, the bunny is like bouncing up towards you. You look about, and probably about 40 feet away from you in the opposite direction, you do see the broom sticking out of the snow like a point down with all the bristles sticking up in the air.
Okay. So Danika is going to grab Esmeralda's hand, and she's gonna go, we gotta get on the broom now, let's just go.
How long can you hold that?
Well, good question. Let me go back up and read.
Hour.
1 hour.
She kind of chuckles a little bit at that. Well done, Danika, well done. And she follows along behind you. You do make it over to the broom. You pull it out from the snow. It's looking a little scratched up a bit, but it's not too bad.
Danika's gonna pat her broom a little bit. Good old faithful hair. Never lets me down.
You mount your broom. Esmeralda gets on behind you and wraps her arms around your waist, pulling herself tight against you. You say the magic words, the broom lifts up in the air once again, and you manage to escape the Yeti, or bunny, that's still hopping mad, chasing you.
Danika whispers, you think we should have kept it? It's kind of cute.
It's only cute for an hour, then it grows up.
That is true.
They say that about kids, too.
They're only cute for an hour.
I'll have you know, my kid is cute for more than just an hour.
So the mother says. Anyway, the two of you make your way back up into the air once again and go soaring up into the skies above the mountain of western Gakis. I'm going to need another perception check from you, Danika.
Oh no. God, how many Yetis are on this mountain?
So many Yetis. So many.
How many times can you cast? Oh my.
I mean, it's better.
Holy shit.
Okay, can we make a new rule? Natalie's not allowed to roll anything.
I'm not letting perception isn't my thing, man.
Clearly
Natalie's not allowed to go by herself.
I'm going to have Esmeralda roll perception because I
That's so
don't want to
generous of
derail
you.
this session any longer than I have to. God damn. Yeah. This perception roll was actually to find the wagons. You finally, after about another hour of flight, make it down, heading towards the cliffside where the chapel is. As you're flying overhead, well, Danika, you're probably much more invested in the fact that Esmeralda is pressed up against you, so you're not really paying too much attention to what's below, but luckily Esmeralda is. She reports that, number one, there's no signs of any movement or anything down at the chapel. There's no smoke or anything. Doesn't look like anyone has gone to the chapel since you left. After another 10 minutes of flying around, she reports that she does see the two wagons.
Oh, perfect. Well, let's go check it out. Let's go get our wagons back.
You fly down and land next to the wagons. You're relieved to see that your two donkeys are still hobbled and tied up between the two wagons. You've made it there before the spell ends. It is currently about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You've been flying for about 3 hours, but at heights and speeds, you're moving a little close. You're moving. You moved fast enough that you were able to find them in a reasonable amount of time. Here's my next question. Esmeralda's pretty good. She's got this magical wagon that can summon horses and follow her commands, so she's good navigating. How are you going to do? Let's find out.
It's usually Cog's job.
It is usually Cog's job. But it ain't this time, so
Total
Danika,
faith.
I need you to make for me. What is the roll?
God, not another perception.
Yes, definitely. Let's do another perception just to piss you off.
Okay.
But no, actually, you're rolling an animal handling check.
Animal handling, that's just as good as perception. I got a 4.
Are you kidding?
How is that even possible?
You're not being like let alone. You're not being left alone ever again.
Mhm.
We're watching you like 5 damn hawks.
She runs up to him full force, waving her arms, screaming and yelling. Let's go!
And the donkeys just bolt.
Oh God.
You get to explain that one to Cog.
It's okay. It's okay. That's what Cog is right.
Esmeralda is definitely not impressed with your animal handling, and she has to get back off her wagon and help you recover the donkeys, which is going to burn some more time.
Oh no.
Roll for me a d20 real quick.
Oh gosh.
Please do better.
Do you know how hard it is for me to do good? I got a 17.
Good news is that you're not attacked while running through the woods trying to find these donkeys.
Yay.
After another hour of effort, you've managed to find the donkeys once again. I'm going to need you to make another animal handling check.
A 7.
Shit's rough out here.
I'm not good at these kind of things.
Yeah.
Don't you have to speak with the animals?
I could. Can't I just talk to him instead?
Cast that, and maybe you'll get advantage on your roll.
You could roll persuasion instead or something, for God's sake.
Okay, I'm gonna cast. Can I cast speak with animals?
Okay.
Donkeys are gonna hate her.
Danika was gonna mumble. She's like, I thought I could handle this without having to do this, but then she cast her spell.
You cast your spell. The donkeys are understandably frustrated with you. You didn't put their bridles on right. One of them got a splinter on their leg as they were running away from you, charging up towards them.
Whose fault is that?
Danika goes, well, listen here, Wilma, Fred, it's okay, you know, you gotta tell me about these things. You can't just bolt at a moment's notice. You know me, you've seen me before.
Well, you can't just go running up on us.
Listen,
That's
I don't
scary.
run.
You just came out of the woods, out of nowhere, and we thought you were a goblin or something.
Danika's like, you got that big nose on your face. Couldn't you smell me?
Oh, there's been all sorts of big goblins roaming around the woods lately.
Well, let's get a move on.
Make a persuasion check.
Thank you.
God.
Also, Fred and Wilma.
Listen,
sorry.
this is probably another reason why the donkeys hate her, okay?
Sonny and Cher died, and now it's Dom and Letty, okay?
Okay, so it says 16, but it's for sure an 18.
Actually, it's plus 13 now, so isn't it 23?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, it would be. I guess what? Treat everything as a 10.
I'd have to look.
Is it like reliable talent, but specifically for persuasion deception?
Let me pop it up.
Making a charisma check, you treat any roll 9 or lower as a 10, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 23.
Okay, I got a 23.
You need to restart roll 20, by the way, because that is a 16, but you rolled a 3 again.
I'm sorry. Okay, let me exit out. I'm starting it over. I need some more luck.
You need a luck reset. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah.
You can't just leave me alone in the woods for this.
Apparently not.
It takes some mighty fine persuading to get these two donkeys back on your side. They're both frustrated to no end with you. Fortunately, Cog has some apples in the cart. You give one to each of them. They soften up enough that eventually they do agree to follow your commands. And, well, it's less about them following your commands and them doing the thing they know they should do because you're not giving the right commands. It's more like that. But
Danika, go on. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Danika's like, okay, come on, Wilma, Fred. We'll get you back to Cog soon.
That's not our names.
Well, you never told me your names before. I'm pretty sure this is our first conversation.
That's actually true. None of you have bothered to talk to us before. You just tell us to go here, go there, smack us when we don't go fast enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll tell Cog to be gentle.
Cog does none of the sort. He is constantly talking to them. They just don't talk back.
It's not the same.
So what are your names?
And then their camera turns back towards the other group.
Which is code for Matt needs to come up with names and doesn't have them yet.
It's no longer Sunny and Cher.
Remember that the Doctor Who episode when he's talking to the horse and says a completely different name? That's kind of what I was thinking about. Yeah. Anyway, all in all, your two groups meet up again right about here. A fair distance away from, or a fair distance closer than any of you wanted to be before the wagons arrived. By the time you arrive back at the chapel, Argynvostholt, it is getting to be close to evening once again. It's always hard to tell exactly what time it is in Barovia because the cloud cover just always blots out the sun. It's little more than just a shiny disk behind clouds. And the rain today, while still have been nothing more than a drizzle, has not let up all day. So everyone is just damp. The cloaks are sticking to your bodies. You're cold. I doubt you're feeling all that great. And you arrive at the outside of Argynvostholt well later than you had hoped you would. But you have arrived. And the chapel is there before you. Tall. Quite a bit tall, in fact. And I need to find my notes on that, so give me 1 second. As I planned this whole thing about the winery that we didn't go to.
Yeah, we'll go there eventually. Cog's just gonna run up and be like, "Oh, my babies, I have missed you. I am so sorry we left you. I'll never promise we're not gonna do something like that crazy again." And he's getting some feed out and he's feeding them and he's just kind of getting a little thing. He's brushing him down. He's like, it's okay. It's okay. We're back. We're all together again.
And Danica's gonna be happily petting one of the donkeys, and she's gonna be like, "Well, we were talking, and we were just making sure to get to know each other. And this is actually Sven and Hilda."
No, you're not taking this from me. No, they've accepted Dom and Letty. You're not taking this from Cog. Cog needs this.
Yeah, let Cog have something today.
Yeah, they are probably, they get their, they're given names. They didn't have names because I'm sure the mean old man in Veros that owned them didn't name them. He's probably very gentle with them because he wanted to keep them alive. That's headcanon that he was mean to him, and Cog's been the first one to show them love.
I mean, hey, whatever you need to tell yourself, buddy.
Hey, you know what? Ignorance is bliss. Thank you very much.
Yep. Now, you're approaching Argynvosthold as the sun is beginning to dip down below the horizon. The coldness is growing, and a fog is beginning to form along the road between you. This fog, after 5-10 minutes, becomes so thick that you can barely see more than 60 feet in any direction. Suddenly, the fog takes on the form of soldiers on horseback, charging across the field. They collide with armored, pike-bearing, wearing devil-horned helmets. As each soldier falls in battle, it turns into fading mist. Hundreds more soldiers collide in a storm of screams and clashes of metal. A ghost-like battle is occurring here on the steps of Argynvosthold. You all pull up, stunned by this sight, expecting something to come out and attack you at any moment. I imagine, Urzak, you're probably still on your war horse, and you have your battle axe in your hand and your shield up, looking towards all of these enemies. But none of them react to you in any way, shape, or form. The silver-wearing armored soldiers and the devil-horned helmet-wearing soldiers bash against one another, ignoring you all completely. How do you react to this?
I think
you're seeing this too, right?
Yeah, I think it's very hackles raised at first, but then, understanding that these things are, not taking notice of us and are not currently a threat to us, or is that kind of puts his weapons back and goes, just keep an eye out.
For what?
I don't know. This is weird, right? I mean, we've seen some weird shit here, but this is...
What was in that bottle of grappa? Wait, you guys didn't drink it. You see this too? And he's looking at Esmeralda and Danika. It's like, we all drank from this. Did you? You see this?
Esmeralda's nodding as well.
Danika squints her eyes. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
I guess they all did drink from it. All right, yeah.
Remember in Jova that priest said that at midnight there are ghosts that march to the castle. This could be a similar type of phenomenon. Maybe there was a significant event here that involved Strahd. And this is just the remnants of the memories.
We know from the journal info we have, we know he led large battles to conquer this realm. Maybe this was part of it? And he had demons and devils on his side.
It could be.
Do any of these ghosts have any I guess like defining traits that could let us know, I guess anything more about them. Whether
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, that's okay. That's it. That's
Okay.
it.
So I would say you can make a perception or an insight check.
Perception or an insight. Neither of these are good rolls for me.
There you
Did
go.
my luck reset?
When it doesn't really matter as much, yes, you did really well.
Well, I'm not good in the heat of the moment, okay?
Yeah, you rolled a 17. That's not bad. As you're examining these soldiers, you notice that the ones in the silvery armor have the same standard. Some of them has it on their shields. Some of them are holding their standards, the big, flags with a symbol on it. And it seems to be a gigantic silver dragon, kind of half curled in an almost ovular shape, identical to the shield that Urzak has.
Oh, okay. I point this out to Urzak. Urzak, look at that shield's matching.
Yeah. I mean, we found it over there. It kind of makes sense, I suppose.
No, you didn't find the shield here. You got that from the mayor.
Babalai Saga. Oh yeah, it was in
the mayor gave that to
Eldra.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, I thought it was over. Oh well.
No,
because I had to take time to attune to it or something and learn more about it.
Correct. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, as you're all musing about this and noticing these things, you hear a thunderous roar that cuts through the din. Followed by the sound of flapping wings. Seconds later, a huge dragon made of silver mist glides overhead, dispersing enemy soldiers with each flap of its mighty wings. Its long reptilian tail slices through the air above you as the dragon carves a swathe through the fog, affording you a fleeting glimpse of the dark mansion overlooking the valley. The mist swirls back in on itself once again, and the dragon flies circling overhead before making another pass at the soldiers. You watch as this dragon comes down, blasting a fountain of icy-like energy, making more mist swirl about. You can see the soldiers holding their arms up, the enemy soldiers with the devil horns, holding hands up, frozen in place with icicles spiking outward from them. The soldiers in the silvery armor let out a cheer, raising their weapons. And as they do so, the mist seems to settle downward once again. After a few moments, silence falls over this area, this cliffside. And all you can see is the darkened mansion that was used as a chapel so long ago. You have arrived at Argynvostholt. So let's move you on.
I feel like I was supposed to pay for tickets for that.
I know, right?
I think my kids are watching the Golden Girl in the other room because I can
Hell yeah.
song playing.
Heck yeah.
The oldest is 16. That's the strange part about it.
Yeah, that was the age I started watching the Golden Girls with my grandmother every night on the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
15 years ago.
I remember when it was in syndication.
Yeah, so do I.
I wasn't alive yet. I don't think.
You were probably at least a baby. Maybe
Because
not.
when was that? It's like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, late 80s.
Yeah, no,
Mid to
I was
late,
not
no.
born yet.
Oh.
It would be 3 years from the end of that show until I'd be born.
Wow. Okay, well. Okay, baby. Gonna swaddle you up next to Roy.
It's just me. I'm a baby.
92 is when it ended.
92.
85 to 92.
There you go. Anyway. There's Argen Vosthold. It's half a ruin. The southern side of the structure is completely destroyed, caved downward. There's quite a bit of destruction on this building. But more than 2/3 of it still remains intact. Its walls crumbling with age, but still serviceable.
I'm assuming this is where the Vistani were.
Yeah,
Over that
to
tents.
the left of the entrance to the building, you can see that there are about half a dozen tents still pitched. They're rain sodden. There's no lights or anything like that. But the tents are still there. So what do you all want to do?
Do
I
we
suppose
just
we should start looking
go in?
inside.
Yeah.
Check around, see if there was anything left in the camp. And then, go inside.
So you make your way over to the tents. There's about half a dozen of them. You did a short search previously when you were here, but go ahead and, if you want to, anyone who wants to do a search can make an investigation check.
I'll give the help action to someone.
Yeah. 21 helping Kago.
Yeah, I'll help out.
21
Kyle.
and an 18. Because weren't there bodies here before, too? Of the Vistani, or was it just a shitload of blood?
It was just a shitload of blood.
Right.
Yeah, there were no signs of any of the Vistani whatsoever. You all do a thorough investigation of this area. You don't find much. The druids picked it clean. You do find some clothes that were kind of balled up and thrown to one side that you overlooked the last time you were here. You pick them up and kind of spread them out a little bit, and there is blood on them as well, mostly on the front shirt. But as you're examining them, you can't help but notice the fine quality of the clothes. You show Esmeralda, and she walks over and she exclaims and does a small sob as she tells you that that is her father's coat. After a more thorough search from that point, Cog, with your 21, you do find a small satchel that was kind of overlooked and kicked underneath a bedroll. Looking through it, what you find is alchemist supplies. It's an alchemy kit.
Assuming it probably belonged to Van Richten,
What?
he would give that to her and be like, This might have been your father's. Can't imagine the Vistani were, deep into alchemy as a hobby.
She accepts it and hugs it to her chest.
He would, I guess, if she didn't take it, he would have kind of like folded. Because you said it was his coat, right? That was kind of cut up. He would have kind of like folded that up and maybe like put it into his pack and like ask, because I know one of them's got like prestidigitation or mending. He'd ask if they can kind of clean it up later and maybe holes or anything like that, repair holes that are in it to give back to her. If she didn't take it herself, he would have.
I think she would have just naturally grabbed that as well.
Okay. Then he'd at least, make a note to say something to Delphine later, see if she can fix it.
Okay. She takes everything that she can find of her father's, which isn't much. His shirt, his breeches, one shoe, the coat, and stuffs them all into the bag with the alchemy kit.
They beat his shoes off him, son of a bitch.
She slings this over her shoulder and neck and says, I appreciate the effort. If you don't mind, I think I'd like to spend some time alone. We're planning on searching that chapel over there, but I feel like you don't really need me for that. I'll stay out here with the wagons and your donkeys. If you need me, send me a message and I'll come, of course.
Stay safe.
Yes, ma'am.
And you as well. I can handle myself. I just need some time to get my thoughts in order.
Understood.
She leads both of the wagons over to, well, it's, what is it there? She leads them over and parks them next to the dragon statue in the center courtyard. I described this once before, but what you're seeing is a 10-foot high cube of granite, and perched on top of that is a moss-covered statue of a dragon. Its wings are tucked in close to its body. The statue is looking east towards the mansion. She parks the two wagons there and begins unhooking the donkeys, while the rest of you gather up at the entrance to the chapel. Now you can see that this main building, the flagstone steps are flanked by stone railings that climb to a landing in front of a tall pair of wooden doors. The doors have rusted iron bands and a knocker that's shaped like small dragons. Carved into the lintel above the entrance is a single word, which, since you have been, those of you who got the ancient language of Barovia in your heads would be able to read it, and it says the word Argynvosthold.
I guess, do we know what that actually means? Is it like there's a meaning behind the word?
There's no meaning behind the word itself, at least not one that your knowledge comes to. It's in the ancient language, but it seems more like a name.
I mean, wondering if we have a speak friend and enter. Kind of, it's like, Argynvosthold. Wondering, I guess, does it open, or is he just looking like a jackass? It's like, Big Green, why don't you push the door open?
What do you? Okay.
I can read the word. I know what it. Ever since that little boy was in my head, which I realize now as I say that came out weird. The little ghost that I was possessed with.
Oh yeah.
I can speak the language. Yeah, can you believe that was back in the fucking death house? How much shit
So
we've been
long.
through?
Feels like it's been years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll push on the door.
Okay. You step up the stone steps towards the door and reach your hands out to push it. As you do, suddenly the dragon statue behind you opens its mouth and exhales a 60-foot cone of harmless, cold air. This air hits you almost like an air conditioner blasting out its first jet of cold air. It chills your back even more, and it causes all of you to shiver in surprise.
Yeah, that elevated the heartbeat. Thank you. 60-foot cone came to mind. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. 60 feet?
60-foot cone.
It's
Crazy.
Once the
Dragon's
blast
breath.
I guess
of
it goes
air,
up to the door.
once the blast of cold air ends, the dragon statue mouth closes slowly again.
Did the door open?
Well, this was as he was putting his hands up
Oh,
against
okay.
it.
Was that like? Can I make some sort of check? Was that like its intended purpose? Just make us a little cold?
You can make
Like
either an insight or an arcana check.
Like a security feature?
13 insight.
13.
20 for Cug.
For you,
17. I
Urzak.
don't know why I went twice.
Yeah, for you, Urzak, it's like perplexing. Why the fuck did it just do that?
Makes no sense.
Corwan, with your 17, it functioned like a trap, but it didn't quite work. It didn't actually do any damage. It's almost as if it's not working right, maybe?
I think maybe because the dragon's not around anymore. We're still alive. I have a feeling that should have probably did quite a bit of insufferable damage to us. Get your shield out. Maybe we have to show him we're a friend.
Well, if it's just kind of cold, I think I'm just gonna not worry about it. Let's keep moving.
Well, this trap may not have worked, but others might have. So
Yeah, let's keep an eye out.
Okay. You trying again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Nah, I'm bad at those though. I only got a 12 for 21.
You reach out and begin pushing at the door, expecting something else to happen. Nothing does. The statue behind you remains motionless. The doors are not locked, and you push them open quite easily. To reveal... Second.
Oh.
You push the doors open to reveal a dark foyer beyond. This room feels like a king's tomb. A gray staircase that you can see with your dark vision leads up to stone balconies held aloft by stone pillars and arches. A tall, faded tapestry depicting a nobleman in silver armor hangs from an iron rod above the staircase landing. There are 6 sets of double doors that lead from this foyer. Along the walls, displayed on marble pedestals, are 3 alabaster busts of human men, who are kind of handsome. There's also a 4th bust and its pedestal has been knocked over, and their shattered remains lie strewn across the mosaic floor. There are 2 chandeliers of wrought iron hanging from the ceiling, like monstrous black spiders dangling above you. And you all pause for a moment just to watch and make sure there isn't any movement. But there isn't. No motion whatsoever is in this room, other than each of you. What do you do?
Oh, where do we start? I don't know.
Danika is going to cast Dancing Lights to add a little bit of light to the room.
As I say, does Urzak wear a helmet?
No.
I was going to cast light cantrip on your helmet, like on the back of your head.
Cast it on the shield.
Yeah, I can do that. He'll cast it like on his silver dragon shield.
Okay.
So he's like a giant fucking flashlight.
And Vide also has his sword, which no doubt you've pulled out, Vide.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So between that, you're all going to light up just a little bit. That real quick. There we go. The shield and the sword light up, illuminating the room, dancing shadows across the walls as you step into the foyer. But as you're stepping into it, you notice that those shadows begin to take shape. A great shadow with wings moves across the walls and disappears. And you hear a soft, bestial hiss coming from somewhere in the darkness.
Is the dragon's name Argynvost told? Did we ever figure that part out? Do we know? Or is that just the name of the castle? Did we ever learn that information by chance?
Don't remember if we did.
Because the Taroka card doesn't give a name. I don't know if maybe we had learned something back in Aldra. I don't recall. I know we asked about it, but I don't know if we ever heard if there was a name for the dragon. Or if the mayor, the burgomaster, told us.
I don't think so.
And yeah, burgomaster in Aldra or the priest in Varos. I don't know if we ever actually asked.
Yeah, I don't think you actually did.
Is there any kind of writing anywhere on any statues or that the tapestry or anything like that?
Make for me a perception check or investigation.
Yeah, they're both +5. Oof. No.
You do not see, unfortunately, you don't see anything on the busts or statues. When you go up to the tapestry, you see at the bottom that there was like a partial letter, but then the rest of it has been ripped away, so it doesn't have an actual full name. The first letter could be an A. You're not 100% sure. Or at least the Barovian equivalent of an A.
I think just knowing it probably, I guess. Oh, they have Well,
Well, it's like half of a letter. There's nothing.
Yeah,
to
there's
really...
no. Plus, wasn't Delphine the one that was possessed by the other child?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Both of
so
you would be
they
able
know
to
the exact same.
Correct.
I guess Cog would just kind of softly be saying out because he doesn't know if there's something still here, if there's other trap. Also, he doesn't know if there's people hiding in here, so he's gonna be quiet. He's like, we are friends. We just came here to seek out your help. We wish to destroy the devil Strahd. We are not your enemy. And he's just saying this kind of softly. Not loud, but, not also super quiet. But he's just kind of saying it to the immediate space. And if there is something otherworldly here, or mystical, or some kind of magical effect, he's taking a shot in the dark.
Mm-hmm. You say this and low, but you do say it. Your voice echoes a little bit in the chamber. You wait for a moment, but hear no reply.
Yeah.
If anything heard you, it makes no show of it.
And here's me with fine traps, but I did not prepare it because I didn't think we'd need it.
Wow.
Story of your life.
Yeah. Prepared flame strike? Does that count for something?
Maybe. We'll find out, huh?
You never know, but I think this is probably a good place to pause for the evening. I see Delphine has to get going soon. So
They have a baby.
Yeah.
We don't have babies.
That's true. Well, that's actually a good place to pause. Here in the foyer of Argynvostholt. Shadows are whispering, dragons are flying around. It's gonna get crazy. Can't wait. But, well done, everybody. You survived yet another day in Barovia. Mostly just traveling. But Strahd's dinner is looming. Can't wait for that to happen.
It really has two meanings because we could be for dinner. Oh, Lord, why do I do that to myself?
Well, thank you to everyone who watched this evening. We very much appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. Come back in 2 weeks to find out what our heroes discover here in the depths of Argynvostholt. I can't wait. But until then, I always like to go around the table and have everybody tell us who they are and where we can find them on the internet. And Corwan, you're the one who did the recap, so why don't you go first?
I have been Corwan Oliver Goodwood tonight. Regular name is Joe, Blood from Stone, Twitter, X, things like that. I'm also on the same Mondays as this campaign. For the same Wednesday, I am Zolos Vonneguth in the Aether Shanties. We survived the pirates. We got back, made some money, find out some of us are wanted because they broke out of a casino, which it's always fun. And now we kind of potentially found out the ultimate bad guy. At least I know who it is, but my character doesn't. And it's awesome. So if anybody watched Fab 5, start checking out Aether Shanties and you'll start picking up the clues. I'm hoping that that's it, because that's going to be just absolutely cool if that's really what's going down. But yeah, we're going to start hunting down cultists that have a lot of zombies and stuff, because we have to rescue... What is Crowburn? What kind of species is he?
Plasmoid.
Yeah.
Slime creatures.
Zolos is calling him puddles. I guess I did call it to his face once, didn't I?
Yeah.
So yeah,
and now that his partner is missing, he's got his own pity party.
Oh, You know what? That's fucking it's deep cut. So yeah, we got to hunt down. Well, actually, we have to kill some other pirates. So this clairvoyant person will help us find the undead people to find the mate of the guy that runs the bar where we first got the. It's very convoluted, but it's a lot of fun. Come check us out.
Heck yeah. Danika, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Danika. I'm actually Natalie, but I play Danika, and if you're lucky, I'm here every other Wednesday, if I can make it, to play Curse of Strahd. You can't really find me in too many places on the internet, usually just here. Thank you. Bye.
Right on. Delphine, you still with us? If you are, we can't hear you, though I see you took mute off Discord.
We can come back around to it.
Maybe not. If you are saying anything, we can't hear you, so we're going to move on. Urzak, you're next.
Hey, I'm Marty. You can find me here every other Wednesday as Urzak on Sonnet of Blood. You can also find me over on the Bard Rock Network, where I am deep in production on like a million different shows. We'll have more to share in the coming weeks and months.
Can't wait for that. Vide, you're next.
Hi, I'm Brandie. I play Vide every other Wednesday here on Curse of Strahd, and then the opposite Mondays I play Mako on the Aether Tech Wars. Otherwise, I'm on the internet as River Dragon 82. That's River with a Y.
Right on. One more shot. Delphine, you with us? Okay. Well, Delphine's played by Dyto. We love Dyto. She's here a few times on Aethertech Wars and here on Curse of Strahd and on the Loropen Tales Tyranny of Dragons campaign. So check her out on all of those. As for me,
Discord or mic's not working.
Yeah, it says Discord or mic's not working. Gotcha. Hate it when that happens. Anyway, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the Random Rhapsody Network. You can find me right here every Monday and Wednesday, running crazy games for crazy people and having a blast doing it. Never know what's going to happen, but that's okay. I have lots of notes, so I always can make it work. You can find me on the tweets, the instas, and everything else as @ScruffyWanderer. So come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday and Thursday right here on the Random Rhapsody Network. So, on behalf of everyone here in Sonnet of Blood and everyone in the Random Rhapsody crew, I just want to say, thank you folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, may you live until you die.
die.
And good night, everybody.